I want to talk to you about success. Not just success in the vein or little wins here and there. Let's talk about massive success, because isn't that the goal? I want to give you clarity of understanding about the path to and through massive success. The dictionary defines success as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. For many people, it is at the point of achieving the very pinnacle of success that they're actually tested the greatest by that very success itself. From the very beginning, you must understand that success is like a jealous companion who will constantly ask you, do you love me? Are you loyal to me? What would you sacrifice for me? Success tests you over and over again to see if you really love yourself enough to believe that you deserve success. It wants to know how much you trust yourself and the universe around you, and maybe most importantly, how hard you are willing to fight for your dreams. Those little wins along the way are a very small taste of the massive success that you can achieve. With each taste, it asks for it back to go a little further to reach out the next level. Why? Because in order to keep gaining and reach the next phase, you have to be willing to put everything on the line again. You must be willing to sprint past all the good you have accumulated in order to achieve greatness. Success is cynical and jealous. It taunts at you, wanting everything you have in return for the next step. It speaks in riddles that you have to decipher in order to stay on the path. But the most exciting is the fact that inside of you is the key to all understanding. As you grow, each success will unlock another door inside of you with access to the next thing you need and want. This is no free ride. Success will demand that you risk everything for it without any assurance or hint that it will work out. He won't even pat you on the back, much less hold your hand through the process. It's your ultimate test of faith. This is difficult, hard to do, but once you break through, you will gain speed and force that makes you unstoppable. The path to massive success is difficult because with each step forward, it asks you to return what has cost you so much to attain. But by doing so, you show the universe, God, the unified field, or whatever you want to call it, it's all the same, your absolute faith. And in return for that, you will receive everything you could ever want. I spent most of my early 20s trying to make ends meet, working 7 days a week in order to barely pay the rent and put food on the table. With 3 daughters at the time, all I lived for was to see them smile. I was spending most of my time trying to sell a TV show I had created, El Pelado de la Noche. This would be the first Spanish late-night talk show in the United States. I had a 2-page treatment with the idea. With that in hand, every day for a year, I knocked on doors trying to get this thing sold. No one wanted to give me an opportunity. Most didn't even want to talk to me and let me explain what I had envisioned. I worked night and day to find a way to make the TV show happen. One day, when I was able to sit at dinner with my family, I was hit with a flash of inspiration. You know what I'm talking about. This is that glimpse that the next door closed to being open. I could feel it. We all get this, but most people ignore them like that warm summer breeze across your face. It was the beginning of December. At that table, at that moment, I was more filled with faith and belief in myself and the goal than ever before. It was at that moment that I decided to spend all the money we had for our rent, bills, and present for our kids and shoot a pilot that will capture my vision. I took everything I had been working for that will provide comfort for my family and will give us finally a decent holiday for the first time and invested it all on my pilot. You have to understand, this was not a moment of fearlessness. This was a moment charging through my fear and taking massive action with the goal of massive success. At that time, I was so afraid because nobody told me this was a good idea. In fact, everyone told me at the networks that it will never work out and that I better choose to spend my time doing something else. But I knew in my bones, in my very soul, that it was time to focus on the life I wanted to live and the life I will be able to give to my family if this was to take off. At that very moment, against all odds, I went all in. It's amazing what the power of making a decision will do to your life. Once I made that decision, we figured out Christmas, and by March, we had caught up on all of our bills, the rent, etc. 1 month later, my TV show was on the air, nationwide, prime time. I remember the day I set to record the DVR for the very first show. I was filled with so much pride and joy when I read in the AT&T description of the show, El Pelado de la Noche, show created, written, produced, and hosted by Sergio Bruna. I had done it. For you, it's your turn. I want you to listen when your next glimpse hits you. I want you to charge forward in the face of your fear and realize that the greatest people before you experienced that same fear. The difference between the ones that achieved massive success and the also runs was the willingness to move forward in the face of fear. It's time for you to stop clinging to your possessions, your vices, your customs, your city, the place you work, and your friends. Be willing to relocate, be active, travel, invest blindly and with absolute faith, and what you want will be yours. The rules of success demand this of you. That is what it means to love oneself at its best. The fear of losing is pure poison and violates a basic law of nature. So go all in from the beginning, and with every new step forward, be willing to put everything on the table each and every time. The universe will see this as the proof that you are worthy of the dreams that lay within your heart. Only when you're willing to lose everything, you'll be really ready to gain anything. Now, my friend, it's all up to you. Go out and make it happen and live each and every day with passion and determination in your road to massive success.